Right. So in last class, we discussed some basic concepts of engines, right? Right. We discussed what is top dead center, what is bottom dead center, what is stroke length, what is bore, what is swept volume, clearance volume, total volume, compression ratio, etc. Right? Can anyone define what is compression ratio? Compression ratio. So compression
Mixing
ratio is
of
defined
fuel
as
in it,
clearance
sir.
volume to the. So it is defined as a clearance volume to the anyone total volume. You can say V1. Okay, na? Right. So here we know that swept volume plus clearance volume is equals to V total volume. Okay, right. So if you we already discussed Carnot theorem in a previous unit. Now let me recall that one. So in Carnot cycle consists of 4 processes. What are they? Anyone? To draw PVTS diagram, because the basic cycle is Carnot cycle only. So if you draw PVTS diagram, so it consists of 4 different processes. Right, in TS diagram, this is the representation. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and here this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 4, 4, 2. Yeah, can anyone tell me what is the process 1, 2, 2? 1, 2, 2. Isothermal expansion, and this is adiabatic or isentropic expansion, and this is isothermal compression, and this is isentropic compression. Compression, these two are compression, right? During expansion process, if you see 1 to 2, pressure is decreased, volume is increased. Even from 2 to 3 also, pressure is further decreased and volume is further increased. So during expansion process, pressure drops and volume increases. Okay, and during the compression process, pressure increases, volume decreases. These things you should keep in mind, so that you can say whether that is expansion process or compression process. And we can see from this diagram, TS diagram, 1 to 2 line is horizontal, therefore T is equals to constant. 2 to 3 is vertical line, entropy S is equals to constant. Again 3 to 4, T is equals to constant, entropy is equals to constant. Okay, na? Yes or no? Right. So we derived the efficiency of Carnot. So 1 minus T2 by T1. Okay. Right now we derived already. What is T2? Tell me what is T2 here? Students.
That is the after thermal expansion.
One minus T2 by T1 or T1 by T2?
T1 by T2.
Is this is correct? 1 minus T2 by T1. The efficiency of Carnot cycle.
No, sir.
No. No. So we have reservoir, thermal reservoir at T1 temperature. This is the heat engine, and this is the source and sink T1, T2. This is the source. This is the sink at low temperature. It is taking heat from the body under higher temperature, doing certain work, and rejecting remaining heat to the sink. So work done is equals to Q1 minus Q2 divided by Q1 heat supplied. So efficiency is equals to work done by heat supplied. So work done is this one. So 1 minus T2 by T1. Correct only, na? Yes or no? Yeah, right. So T2 is the lower temperature, T1 is the higher temperature. Right. Now here today very important derivation. So we are going to discuss about Otto cycle.
What, sir?
Right? Otto cycle. I can say the other name is constant volume cycle. Constant volume cycle. Right? All petrol engines works on this cycle. The basic cycle for petrol engine is constant volume cycle, or we can call it as Otto cycle. Otto is the name of the scientist. Okay, so scientist Nicholas A. Otto, who invented this one. Okay, na? So, right. So here it consists of 4 processes: 2 isentropic process, and isothermal process in Carnot cycle is replaced by constant volume cycle. So 2 constant volume processes. So in Carnot cycle we have 2 isentropic and 2 isothermal, but here in petrol engine for Otto cycle we have that isothermal processes are replaced by constant volume cycle, right? So let me draw the figure, PVTS diagram, so that it will be clear. Right. So let us consider first is the PV diagram. Pressure on y-axis, volume on x-axis, temperature on y-axis, and entropies on x-axis. Very important diagrams throughout your mechanical engineering. These diagrams you should remember. Right. Wherever petrol engine is there, the basic cycle is the Otto cycle. So Otto cycle consists of 2 isentropic processes and 2 constant volume processes. Remember. Okay. Right. First, I am going to draw PV diagram. Just mirror image exactly TS diagram. Right. So here it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So here also 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1, 3 to 4, 2 to 3. Now tell me, what is 1 to 2? What is 1 to 2? 1 to 2 is the compression process or expansion process? Tell me. 1 to 2. We can see 1 to 2 entropy is constant. It is the compression process, right? So therefore 1 to 2 I can call it as isentropic compression process. Isentropic compression process. Then 2 to 3 volume is constant volume process, and 3 to 4 isentropic expansion process, and 4 to 1 constant volume process. constant volume process, right? So basically, in order to produce power, any engine, that may be petrol engine or diesel engine, it has to undergo 4 sequence of operations. Okay, so it has to undergo 4 sequence of operations. So there are suction, compression, expansion or power, exhaust. If an engine sorry, if an engine completes these 4 sequence of operations, then we will get power. Okay, right. So usually, if you see piston cylinder arrangement, so this is the cylinder. Inside the cylinder, you have the piston. It will reciprocate. Here I have inlet valve, outlet valve, and spark plug. Outlet valve, inlet valve, and spark plug. Right. So during this is top dead center and bottom dead center. Right. So during the suction stroke, piston moves from TDC to BDC. During suction stroke, piston moves from TDC to BDC. So in that, what will happen? In case of petrol engine, air plus petrol from the carburetor. See, this inlet valve is connected to carburetor in case of petrol engine. Okay. So we are talking about petrol engine. Okay. So this is connected to carburetor and this is connected to silencer, the exhaust. This is connected to silencer. Okay. Now, so during the suction stroke, the piston is moving from TDC to BDC. Therefore, inside the cylinder, it is filled with air plus petrol from the carburetor. So at the end of the suction, the piston is at the bottom dead center. So means when the piston is moving from TDC to BDC, suction is completed. Now during the return stroke of the piston, that is from BDC to TDC, we can call it as compression stroke. So during the compression stroke, what is there inside the cylinder? Air plus petrol. That will be compressed. Due to the compression, the volume is decreasing and the pressure and temperatures are increasing. At the end of the compression, what is there? Spark is introduced by the help of spark plug. So already the pressure and temperature of air fuel mixture inside this one will be very high. At that time, if you introduce the spark, automatically the ignition will take place. Means combustion will start at that point. So once you burn the fuel, what will happen? Right? High pressure and high temperature gases will be liberated. Those gases will push the piston downward direction. Therefore, again the piston is moving from TDC to BDC. I can call that as power stroke or expansion stroke. Right. So again, the piston now at the end of the power stroke, the piston is at the bottom dead center. Again, it will move to the upwards. Means from BDC to TDC. I can call it as exhaust stroke. During this process, the exhaust gases formed due to the combustion will be escaped to the atmosphere through the silencer. These 4 operations should complete by an engine in order to work. Okay, suction, compression, expansion, exhaust. Right now, in that one, this is the compression. Right now, 1 to 2 is the compression process. Now here, this is 2 to 3 is the heat addition process, constant volume heat addition, and 4 to 2 is the exhaust process, nothing but constant volume heat rejection process. Okay, na? So this is the compression process. This is the heat addition. Then this is the expansion. This is nothing but my power stroke, and 4 to 1 is the exhaust stroke. Okay, so suction is not showing here. Compression, and this is the spark addition, nothing but heat addition, and this is the power stroke or expansion, and this is the exhaust stroke, heat addition, heat rejection, Q out. This is clear? These operations, compression, right? So
Yes,
here.
sir.
Right. Now I'm calling it as air standard cycles, right? So air standard cycles means air standard efficiency we used to call. We are going to derive. Air standard cycle means we are assuming working fluid as air. We are assuming working fluid as air. Then the efficiency of that engine is called air standard efficiency. Now we are going to derive the air standard efficiency of Otto cycle. Okay. Now that is for petrol engine. Okay, here this is the compression heat reduction. Now the constant volume heat addition process and constant volume heat rejection process. Okay, in the same way, 122 is the compression, 223 heat addition, and this is the 324 is the expansion process, and 421 is the heat rejection process. Okay, now okay, this is entropy S. Okay, right now here, right, what is
Sir,
V1? Tell me.
sir, for two-stroke, it is same, sir.
For two stroke, it is different. Two stroke, it is different. Okay, it's not required now. I'll tell you whenever it is required. Okay,
Okay, sir.
yes, sir. Right, it is not required now. If anyone interested, really, I'll explain what is two stroke, what is four stroke. But as of now, it is not required for us.
Okay, sir.
Okay, right.
Okay, sir.
If anyone really interested, at the end of the class, I'll explain. So,
Okay, sir.
okay. Right. Let us assume this is the piston cylinder arrangement. This is my piston. Listen carefully. Okay. What is this one? This is the connecting rod. This is the connecting rod, and this is the crank. This is crank. So always crank rotates. Crank rotates, and piston reciprocates, and connecting rod oscillates. Okay, means the connecting rod converts the rotary motion of crank, into reciprocating motion of piston. Reciprocating motion of piston means the main purpose of connecting rod is to convert rotary motion into reciprocating motion and vice versa. Okay, now this is the shaft. Now you can see this connecting rod is mounted over a shaft. Over the shaft, our pedal, crank pedal, or if you take your bike or a kick rod will be mounted. If you apply the kick, what is happening inside the engine? This piston is reciprocating, means you are giving more motion to the crank. When the crank rotates, your piston will reciprocate. Okay, so that is what happened inside the background. Okay, now you can see if I want to execute this cycle with this one at state 1. Now this is the state 1. State 1 I am representing. Now state 1 means what? Suction is completed. Okay, so at state 1 the piston is at the bottom dead center. The piston is at the bottom dead center, means the complete cylinder is filled with air. The complete cylinder is filled with air. Okay, now 1 to 2, it is a compression process by keeping entropy constant. Okay, so means during 1 to 2, now at state 1 the piston is here. This is the bottom dead center. Initially the piston is at the bottom dead center, means after the suction next to this point will be. Okay, now when the piston is moving upward direction, due to the compression, pressure and temperature of the air will increase, right? So this is state 2. This is the top dead center, maximum possible position. So beyond this, the piston cannot move, because here I have inlet valve, outlet valve, and spark plug. I already told it's not possible to touch the piston head with the cylinder head always, because of the two reasons. One is the valve design does not allow the piston to touch the cylinder head. That is the one reason. Second reason is every time if we touch, there will be a friction between piston and cylinder. Therefore, wear and tear will take place. That is the reason it's not possible to touch the piston head with the cylinder head. Okay, now so 1 to 2, the piston is, now we can see in this diagram only, this is the top dead center and this is the bottom dead center. So the distance from here to here, I can call it as the stroke length. Got it? 1 to 2, the piston is moving from VDC to TDC, right? At the end of the compression process, we are adding the heat. We are adding the heat, right? How to add the heat? As we know, by keeping the diathermic wall in contact with the source, as I explained for the Carnot cycle, right? So because this is the 8 standard cycle, okay, right? This is theoretical cycle. So therefore, how to add the heat? Here it's no spark plug here. So what we are having? We are having diathermic wall and source. I'm keeping the cylinder head in contact with the diathermic wall with the source. Therefore, heat is added. At what? Heat is added at constant volume process. What is 2? 2 corresponding to the pressure at which heat is added, P2, and 3 corresponding to pressure at which heat addition is stopped. Heat addition is started at P2. Heat addition. See, by adding heat, what happens to pressure? Pressure will increase. So due to the heat addition, the pressure is increased from P2 to P3. Okay. Is it is clear from 1 to 2, 2 to 3? So 2 to 3, there is no change in the position of the piston. That's why we are calling it as constant volume. 2 to 3 process is the constant volume process. If it is clear, tell me. I need to explain a lot more in this 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Is it okay so far?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now you can see from this is now this line is the top dead center, as I told, right? This is the top dead center and this is the bottom dead center. This is the bottom dead center. In between top dead center and bottom dead center, the piston will reciprocate. Therefore, what is the volume corresponding to these two? I can call it as total volume. Agree? Total volume. Okay, now, right? So due to the valve design and due to this friction, the piston can move only till here. Right? From here to here, this volume is called swept volume, and this volume is called clearance volume. Is it is okay? The representation. V1 is the total volume, Vs is the swept volume, Vc is the clearance volume, and V1 is equals to Vc plus Vs. Is it is okay? Please reply.
Yes,
Very,
sir.
very, very important concept, right? Now, next. Now, can I say V1 is equals to volume at start of compression? Can I write? V1 is equals to volume start of compression. V2 is equals to volume after end of compression. After end of compression. Is V2 is equal to Vc? Agree? Yes or no? What is V2? V2, if you project it, V2 is nothing but Vc. V2 is what? From here to here. This is the volume. Vc. Yes or no? Right? So therefore, V1 by Vc. What is the meaning of this one? Tell me. V1 by Vc. Volume at start
Total
of
volume.
compression. V1 is the total volume. Vc is the clearance volume.
1 by
See here. Now, if you recall the definition of compression ratio, how I defined at that time? Total volume to the clearance volume. I said right now. Please tell me. This is what total volume? This is the total volume, and this is the clearance volume. This is the clearance volume. I can call V1 by Vc as compression ratio or not?
Yes, sir.
yes.
So therefore, we can define compression ratio. That the symbol for the compression ratio is R. I can define the compression ratio as volume at start of compression divided by volume at end of compression. That is nothing but total volume to the clearance volume. Clear? Please reply. Right. Again,
Yes, sir, clear.
again. 2 to 3, which process it is? 2 to 3, what is the process? Constant volume process. And 4 to 1 is also constant volume process. Therefore, I can write V1 is equals to V4. V1 is equals to V4 and V2 is equals to V3. 29.941 meters. 29.94 is V1 equal to V4 and V2 is equals to V3 because 2 to 3 and 4 to 1 are the constant volume process. As I know R is equals to V1 by V2, I can also written as V4 by V3. Agree?
Yes,
Is it
sir.
is okay? Because V1 is equals to V4, V2 equal to V3. But what is V4 here? What is V4? Look at the figure and tell me. V4 is the volume at the end of the expansion. Agree? Because 3 to 4 process is the expansion process. V4 is the volume at the end of the expansion, and V3 is the volume at the start of the expansion. Therefore, here this is the volume at end of the expansion, and V3 is the volume at start of expansion, right? So now this is called expansion ratio. Expansion ratio. So I define two terms here, compression ratio and expansion ratio. Both are denoted with notation R only, right now. So both are same only, right? So R in terms of compression ratio equal to volume before start by after start. Is this ratio is greater than 1 or less than 1? Which is more, V1 is more or V2 is more? Please answer.
Both are
V1 is greater or V2? V1 is greater always, right now. Volume at the start of compression is much greater than V2. Therefore, compression ratio is always greater than 1. Similarly,
sir, but
expansion ratio. Tell me, your voice is
constant volume.
value I am talking about. Constant volume 2 to 3. V2 is equals to V3. That is okay here. V2, V3 comparison both are same. But I am comparing V1 with V2. I am comparing V1 with V2. Okay. Similarly, V4 is much greater than V3. Agree? V4 is much more greater than V3. Therefore, the expansion ratio is also greater than 1. Okay, na? So compression means before to the after. Remember, compression means always the ratio should be bigger to the smaller. So where the volume is bigger before start of compression to the end of the compression. Similarly, volume will be bigger after expansion. Therefore, volume at the end of the expansion by volume at the start of the expansion. Okay. Now, so during the expansion process, right? So 3 to 4, this is the expansion process. During expansion process, the piston is moving from TDC to BDC, right? Now, this is my power stroke. So now we can say the work is done by the system. During expansion process, work is done by the system. We can say this is the work out. This is the work out. Okay. Again, 4 to 1 is the heat rejection process. 4 to 1, the piston is moving from, right? According to theoretical one, it is at constant volume, but practically it is not. We'll explain. So because 4 to 1 is the constant volume. Again, 1 to 2 compression. In order to occur the compression, we need to give work input, that is the W. Work input, heat addition, work output, heat rejection. This is the PV and TS diagram. Again, one more term I need to explain here. One more property, or we can say now. So what is P2? What is P2 here? P2 is the pressure at the start of the heat addition. P3 is the pressure at the end of the heat addition, right now. So the ratio P3 to the P2 is called explosion ratio. Explosion ratio. It is denoted by symbol alpha. It is defined as the ratio of pressure at the end of the heat addition to the pressure at the start of the heat addition. And this is one thing we discussed now, explosion ratio, and R compression ratio before to the after, and expansion ratio after to the before. These things are clear? These things are clear,
Yes, sir.
right now? So, right, compression process, heat addition, then expansion, heat rejection, right? Now we will derive the efficiency of the Otto cycle, right? Generally, efficiency, what is the Carnot set? Efficiency equal to work done by heat supplied. Agree?
Heat
Right?
supply.
Work done by heat supplied. Yeah, what is work done? Heat supplied minus
Supply.
heat rejected. Yes or no? This is heat supplied will keep. Work done by heat supplied. And work done equal to heat supplied by heat rejected by Q supplied. So that is equals to 1 minus
1
heat
minus
rejected by
heat rejected
heat
by heat.
rejected by supplied, right?
Yes.
Now, how to calculate heat supplied? Now you can see heat supplied is a constant volume process. Agree? Heat is supplied at constant volume process, and heat rejection is also taking place at constant volume process.
Constant
Therefore,
volume process.
heat, yeah, heat supplied is equals to, let us assume, that mass is equals to unity for unit mass. So CV into temperature at the end of the heat addition, 2 to 3, right? T3 minus T2, CV into delta T. Delta T is T3 minus T2. This is the heat supplied, and heat rejection process is from, right, 4 to 1. So T4 minus T1. It is also taking place at constant volume. Therefore, CV into T4 minus T1. If you supplied in efficiency, we will get efficiency of Otto is equals to Otto cycle is equals to 1 minus heat rejection CV into T4 minus T1 divided by CV into T3 minus T2. So CV will be cancelled, 1 minus T4 minus T1 divided by T3 minus T2. This is the efficiency of Otto cycle, right? Now we are going to simplify this equation, right? Now I want to write T4 and T3 in terms of T1 and T2, right? So that is our main work. Okay, writing the, because I want to simplify this one, right? Now for that, process 1 to 2. Process 1 to 2, which type of process? Isentropic process, right? So 1 to 2 is the isentropic process. 1 to 2, the governing law is PV power gamma is equals to constant. PV power gamma equal to constant. If you are right for two states, P1 V1 power gamma is equals to P2 V2 power gamma, right? From this I can write P2 is equals to or P2 by P1 is equals to V1 by V2 whole power gamma. What is V1 by V2? You can see here, what is V1 by V2? It is nothing but compression ratio, agree? So therefore V1 by V2 is replaced with R round power gamma, right now? Right. And already we discussed earlier the ratio, temperature ratio T2 by T1 is equals to, right now, T2 by, remember or not? If not, again tell me, I'll solve that one. Okay, timing. Now from equation of state, this is one equation we have. From equation of state, P1 V1 by T1 is equals to P2 V2 by T2, right? Now I want, because I want volume in terms of temperature, right? So let us replace pressure in terms of volume over here. So from this P2 by P1 is equals to V1 by V2 into T2 by T1. Okay, right. V1, P2 by P1 is replaced by R power gamma. R power gamma is equals to V1 by V2 is R into T2 by T1. Therefore, T2 by T1 is equals to R power gamma minus 1. Therefore, T2 is equals to T1 into R power gamma minus 1. We got one relation here. So I got T2 value in terms of T1. T2 value I got in terms of T1. Okay. Now here 2 to 3, if you take, this is 1 to 2. 2 to 3, it is a constant volume process. Okay, I know that V2 is equals to V3. V2 is equals to V3. Yes or no, right? Again, and one more thing, 2 to 3, I know P3 by P2 is equals to explosion ratio. Right? Explosion ratio. Okay, right. So Is it is clear so far? Students, please respond. Now P3 I can written as P2 into alpha. Right? So what can I write P2 from this P2 I can write as P1 into R power gamma into alpha, that is equals to P3. P3 I can written as P1 into R power gamma into alpha, where alpha is the explosion ratio. Okay, and T3 by T2. T3 by T2 I can written as P3 by P2 because it is constant volume process. 2 to 3, P2 V2 by T2 is equals to P3 V3 by T3. When volume is constant, I can cancel V2 and V3. So therefore, from this I can write P3 by P2 is equals to T3 by T2. Okay, so I want T2 value. So T3 value. What can I write? T3 is equals to T2 into P3 by P2 is replaced with alpha. Right now, P3 by P2 is replaced with alpha. Okay, so therefore, again T2 I can replace with T1. T2 is equals to I know T1 into R power gamma minus alpha, that is equals to T3. So I got T3 also in terms of T1. T2, T3. Now I want to T4 in terms of T1. Agree? Is it is clear so far? So far I got T2 and T3. T2 and T3 in terms of T1. You have to practice compulsory. You may get either derivation or problem for 10 marks. Okay. Again, now 2 to 3 is over. Now 3 to 4 we will see. 3 to 4, what is the process? That is the expansion process. Okay. So 3 to 4 is the expansion process. Therefore, 3 to 4 is the expansion. P3 V3 power gamma is equals to P4 V4 power gamma. From this I am writing directly P4 is equals to P3 into V3 by V4 whole power gamma. As we know, V3 by V4 is also 1 by R, right now? V3 by V4 is nothing but 1 by R.
P1 by P. 1 by R.
V3 by V4 I can written as 1 by R, agree? This is the reciprocal. Okay, now, right? R I can say 1 by R power gamma. R power gamma. Now P4 is equals to P3 into, here P3 is there, sorry, yeah. P3 into 1 by R power gamma. Again, P3 what we know, P3 is equals to what?
P1
P3 is equals to
R
P1
power gamma
into
into
R power gamma into alpha into 1 by R
1
power
by R.
gamma. R power
R
gamma.
power
R power gamma. R power gamma cancel. Therefore, I will get
P1
P4 is equals to P1 into alpha.
alpha.
P4 is equal to P1 into alpha. And from 3 to 4, like this if I write, so this one, like this if I write, I can write T4 by T3 is equals to, for isentropic process, T4 by T3 is equals to V3 by V4 whole power gamma minus 1, right now? So V3 by V4 is nothing but R, V3 by V4, 1 by R. So that is equals to 1 by R power gamma minus 1. And from this T4 is equals to T3 into, if I write a reciprocal, I should multiply with minus R power 1 minus gamma. R power 1 minus gamma. But T3 is what? T3, I know that T1 into R power gamma minus 1 into alpha into R power 1 minus gamma. So R power, these two will be cancelled. When bases are same, I can add powers. So therefore, I left with P4 is equals to T1 into alpha. Agree? So these two bases are same. If I add powers, gamma, minus 1 plus 1 will be cancelled. That will be 1. Therefore, T4 equal to T1 into 1. So there I got T1, sorry, T2, T3, T4 in terms of T1. Now I will substitute all these three in this equation. Which equation? This is my main equation. This is equation 1, equation 2, equation 3, and finally equation 4, right now. So substitute 2, 3 and 4 in equation 1. So what is equation 1? Equation 1 implies efficiency is equals to 1 minus 4 minus 1 by 3 minus 2, T4 minus T1 by T3 minus T2, that is equals to, now 1 minus T4 value is how much? T1 into alpha minus T1 divided by T3 value. T3 value is T1 into
T1 into gamma R power
alpha
gamma
alpha into R power gamma minus 1 minus T2 value. T2 value is T1 into R power gamma minus 1.
minus
T1 into R power gamma minus 1. This is whole denominator. Right now, from numerator and denominator, I can take T1 alpha.
yes. T1 only.
T1 I can take only T1.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can take T1 common. If I take T1 common, 1 minus T1 by T1. Okay. So in the numerator, I left with alpha minus 1 divided by alpha into R power gamma minus 1 minus R power gamma minus 1. Right now. So T1
Yes.
will be cancelled. Again, from denominator, I can take comma R power gamma minus 1. Alpha minus 1 by here, what I will get? Alpha minus 1.
Minus 1.
So this is efficiency of Otto cycle, right? So this will be cancelled, which implies
Yes.
efficiency of Otto cycle is equals to 1 minus 1 by R power
Gamma minus 1.
minus R power gamma minus 1. So this is very, very important, where R is equals to compression ratio and gamma is equals to adiabatic index. For air, gamma value is equals to how much? It is 1.4. Gamma for air it is 1.4. Is this derivation is clear? Very, very important. You may get either derivation or problem on this one, right now. So just I'll quickly recall once again. So this consists of 4 processes. Yeah, recapping. Right. So 4 processes. So the difference between Carnot and Otto cycle is, in Carnot cycle, isothermal processes are replaced by constant volume process. Okay, na? So there, if you recall, isothermal heat addition, isothermal heat rejection. Here, constant volume heat addition, constant volume heat rejection, right now, and remaining isentropic compression, isentropic expansion. Okay, so 1 to 2, the compressing the air, right? The piston is moving from BDC to TDC. The piston is moving BDC to TDC. Right, at state 2, we are going to add the heat by maintaining the volume constant. So therefore 2 to 3 is the constant volume heat addition, and right, so due to the heat addition, the pressure is increased. Therefore the ratio of P3 to the P2 is called explosion ratio. Okay, right. Now at point 3, the expansion starts. Therefore the piston is moving from TDC to BDC. During this process, we can get the work output from the system. Again, after the expansion, then the heat rejection, right now, exhaust gases, heat rejection at constant volume 4 to 1. Again, 1 to 2 compression process. For that we required work. So this is the work in and work out, right? So these are the 4 operations, right? So as we know from Carnot cycle, work done is equals to heat supplied minus heat rejected. Heat supplied is taking place at constant volume. Heat rejection is also taking place at constant volume. Therefore, heat supplied is equals to CV into T3 minus T2, and heat rejection is equal to CV into T4 minus T1. Therefore, we substituted work done is equals to heat supplied minus heat rejected by heat supplied, and that is, if you simplify, rejected by supplied, and the CV is there, heat rejection is there, substitute. Now I want to eliminate, I want to I want to eliminate T4, T3, T2 in terms of T1. For that, I considered each process 1 to 2 process, then 2 to 3, then 3 to 4, and I eliminated T2, T3, T4 in terms of T1, and finally after substitution we got Otto cycle efficiency is equals to 1 minus 1 by R power gamma minus 1. This is the efficiency of Otto cycle, right now. So how to calculate swept volume? Swept volume is equals to pi by 4 into d square into L. Swept volume is equals to pi by 4 d square into L, right now. So swept volume plus clearance volume is equals to total volume, Vs plus Vc. And compression ratio I discussed, explosion ratio also I discussed, right now. Any doubts till